Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another World Class Conversations with Laquisha and Friends. As always, I am so excited to bring you the best lit, amazing individuals that I have come into contact with throughout the years. And when I say lit, you might be like, what is lit all about? And like I would say every week, lit is one leaders. They are leaders in the community who are making a difference. They are influencers who are helping other people to become their best self. And they are trailblazers. When there's a mountain, either they're going to climb the mountain or knock the mountain down. And that's the kind of people we have here on the World Class Conversations show, just inspiring individuals to do what it is that God has called them to do. And without further ado, I have an amazing sister who is coming before you guys today. We had met many years ago. I just so love good people. And someone said to me the other day, Laquisha, everyone is good people to you. Yes, you attract who you are. Not saying that we are perfect, but I just love people and love people who are making a difference first and foremost. I am so excited, and I'm going to just introduce her in just a little bit. But I also want you guys to know this is that we are going to help you tonight to, if there is a desire, whatever it is that's on the inside of you, it's our job, even on the World Class Conversations, to help pull that out of you. And tonight, I know you will be inspired. We're kicking off with the one and only Laticia Nicole, who is kicking off our April series, right? And I'm so glad to have her. So she is a certified life coach, motivational speaker, nursing home administrator, best-selling author of 7 books. I know y'all want to know how she did 7 books, right? That is awesome. A non-profit founder of Purpose Professionals, Inc., independent business owner with her own vitamin and herbal tea company that was birthed during the pandemic. And I know there was so many things birthed in the pandemic, and a lot of people have pivoted during that time. And I'm so excited. I get goosebumps when I hear things have been birthed in dead situations, right? And and she birthed that while she was battling COVID-19. She's also the level 2 marketing director in network marketing company and the CEO and founder of Laticia Nicole Enterprise. Let me tell you, she is going to be sharing some things with you tonight, so you would want to be connected to her. She has the Speak Life Enterprises. So she's going to speak life into you guys today. World Class family, without further ado, help me welcome the one and only Laticia Nicole to the World Class Conversations show. Hi, welcome.
Oh, I am so thankful to be here. Thank you so much for this world-class conversation. And thank you for inviting me. This was such a privilege and an honor. And I just want to say thank you. And the way I listen, I was like, who is she talking about? Who is she just talking about? I want to meet her. I'm going to have to take you around with me. You made me sound important.
I want to meet her too. She's just so fabulous, I am so glad we have this moment. So I know I shared a little bit about who you are. So could you go more in depth about, because one thing I've discovered, sis, is that people see the glory, but they don't know the story. There's always a story behind what you see on social media, what you see in the workplace, what you see in the marketplace. So could you tell us a little bit more about who you are?
Absolutely. I am Laticia Nicole Beatty. I call myself the transformational evangelist. And that is a story behind that because when I first started on this journey, I didn't believe that I was a minister. I didn't know that I was an author. I didn't know that I was a teacher of teachers. And so what it begins for me in 1992. I traveled to North Carolina with $15 and four outfits to attend Livingstone College.
Wow.
And I took those standardized tests and they labeled me remedial, right? So I was all in all remedial classes and I wanted to be a nurse so super bad. I was in remedial English, math, all my classes was remedial. People said that I wasn't going to amount to anything. They said I wasn't going to be nothing but a stripper, wasn't going to be able to do anything but God. And let me tell you, I then transferred as an in-state transfer to Winston-Salem State University, graduated with honors with my registered nursing degree, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Then I went on to get my master's in business. Yeah, the same girl that they said that wasn't going to amount to anything, the same girl that said what was remedial, that had a learning disability. Yep, that same girl. And now I am obtaining my doctoral degree in entrepreneurship and administration. And that same girl that they labeled. And I realized that there's so many people out there that could be just like me, the ones that they label, the things that, some things that happened that wasn't so great in your life. I hope I don't make anybody blush or anything, but so I can just go on and say it. Some
Go right
people
ahead. Go right ahead.
talked about rejected, molested, abused, cast aside, those people. And so, yeah, that was me. And I was beginning to live out those words. And then God gave me the brand and the word speak life. So in 2017, no, excuse me, 11, I started to speak life into my own life. And so I literally would take a mirror and tell myself, you are worthy. You can do it, right? After thinking about committing suicide. See, there's stories behind this and there's levels to this. So when people say they want to walk in somebody's shoes, you better understand what you're walking into. Okay. And so, so what you see is a person that's not afraid of anything, that will say, if I say it, if I can believe it, then I can achieve it. Those are not just words to me. I know that I truly have the power of death and life in my tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So not only do I speak life into myself, I speak life into women, to men, and to children. Come on, I need you to hear me. I've been doing a prayer call and Bible study for the last 7.5 years. And I think I've been saying 7.5 years for probably 8 years. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, we've been doing a Bible study. And I didn't know I was going to be an evangelist. Who knew? But God did. And I went through a bad situation where I can talk about it. So everything that I do, everything that I say, the people that I give to, being a philanthropist, being a CEO, or founder of a nonprofit organization, that's because I was a person once in need. I started my own institute, Speak Life Transformational Institute, because I know it's people out there that's doing things and saying things that don't even understand why. And we're going to get down to the root cause of it and pluck it up so they can be who God called them to be. And I am an author, and I'm helping other people become authors. Everything that God has done for me, I'm helping other people. When I was down with COVID, and I heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
I was down with COVID last year. I had left being a nursing home administrator. I had retired, and they called me back last year because they needed help. I went back on March 23rd. By March 30th, I was full-blown COVID. That's my mother's birthday. She not only found out that I was COVID positive on her birthday, her best friend died of COVID on her birthday. And so I'm down here in North Carolina. My family, my whole family, and besides my husband and my children are in North Carolina with myself. And so it was something that I went through, but God allowed me not to only birth my own 14-day detox company, but also a turmeric, vitamin C, and turmeric.
What? Show it good to the screen. We need to see it close up. Like
this is the turmeric. That's the turmeric. And this is the vitamin C. I hope you guys can see it. And that's the vitamin C.
Wow.
And, yeah. So literally going through COVID myself, and I had lost 24 residents that died of COVID, and it was trying to get me to go to the hospital. Well, all 24 people died. And at the time, I felt like they didn't know what they was doing. Okay, I'm gonna just tell the truth. And being a registered nurse, I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. They haven't quite figured this thing out yet, and I'm not going. And I have a comorbidity by the name of asthma. So I doctored on myself. I lived in my basement for 2.5 months, and I was taking organic robios, organic green tea, organic ginger root. I was taking oolong tea, pomegranate, bitter melon, papaya, dandelion leaf, Garcinia cambodia, peppermint leaf, and stevia leaf, along with my vitamin C. And I know we can have up to 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C because I'm a nurse,
Right,
right?
right.
And of turmeric. But I put all those ingredients that I just told you in one tea bag.
Wow. You guys hear that? Wow.
So that's what I'm doing now. I'm promoting my tea everywhere, and being that now that I'm promoting my tea, God said, well, it's other small businesses out there that need recognition. So on April 17th, 2 days from my birthday, I will be launching Speak Life magazine to speak life into your health, into your wealth, into your finances, so you can be healed, delivered, and set free, and all those things in one magazine. So I'm really, really excited about what God is doing. So I think I told you about me. The last thing I want to say is that I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a philanthropist, I am an author, I'm a speaker, but I'm always a work in progress. My name is Laticia Nicole, and I speak life so that we all may have life more abundantly.
Woo! Listen, you just started. You didn't even, like flights, airlines, just we have to drive down the airways. You just took off. Like and I just love it. So that's gonna tell you guys what kind of conversation we're gonna have tonight. Like I just love that. And as always, I always have my notebooks and my pen in hand because I'm taking notes because Letitia was dropping gems, straight gems. But I want to go back and I want you to talk to that person who had a label placed on them and they are stuck with that label. And because we're going to also get into the Speak Life Institute, which I love because, yeah, well, but I want people to, there's so many people who are stuck at a label. The black sheep, I don't have this because of my color. I'm not pretty enough because of my complexion. It's just so many things because I was abused. All these things that keep women and men stuck. Could you speak to that person and state how you were able to overcome the label and now philanthropist, like doctor now, almost, like you have all the good labels, but it took some of the negative labels to get you where you were at. So speak to that a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'm glad you asked me that question because our expectation is our manifestation. And I read this wonderful book. I think everybody might, you can Google it. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? Whatever you think you are, you are. The biggest lie I ever heard was sticks and stones can break my bones, but names would never hurt me. And so when I was younger, they would call me names. And so if you're listening to me and people have labeled you and they called you names, and now that you're older, you have what I call remember when friends, remember when you wasn't quite doing well. Remember when you didn't have any money. Remember when, you were out there in the street. Remember when you were different. And see, if they knew you yesterday, they don't know you today because you're not the same. And it just depends on, it only depends on what you believe about you and what you think about you. That's the only thing that can manifest. They can't hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you receive the words that they're saying to you, now I do understand that there's things that happen to us that get deeply rooted and grounded, which we have to unlearn some behaviors. Sometimes we learn how to protect ourselves, and then we put ourselves in this bubble and we find ourselves by ourselves. And it's only because we put ourselves in this bubble so we can't listen to the names that's being called to us, that we won't feel like we're, not worthy and not enough. And see, that's what I believe God made me for, to speak life into you. To say that you're healed, delivered, and set free, to say that you're the head and not the tail. Not just I say it, but then you can repeat it and then you can put it out into the atmosphere and let your angels have permission to work on your behalf. To say that you're healed, delivered, and set free, to say that you're rich. Go ahead, you can repeat it. Say
Yes.
that you're rich.
Rich. Yes.
Say that you're blessed.
You're blessed.
Say that you're walking in the fullness of God. Say that you're debt free. Come on, go ahead and say it. Say that you're debt free. Say that you're healthy. Come on, say it. Say that you're wealthy. Come on, come on.
You're wealthy.
Yes, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And the days of barely making it are over. And you can even say when. Now.
Come on.
Now. You have the power of death and life in your tongue. And when you believe it, you can actually receive it. Mark 9:13 says, all things are possible to those that believe. So you're only manifesting what you believe. And so what my school and my institute does is get down into that belief system and break it all up and then reprogram you. So you can be who God created you to be. You can see yourself the way God sees you, because you are and you were made for greater works, and you will do it. I know I am.
Yes, yes, yes. I am wealthy. I am wise. Come on. Like you had me, I was trying to, I had my seatbelt on, right? I have my seatbelt on because I would just be coming out of my seat because I just love that, because some people just need that midwife to help birth that thing inside of them that's laying dormant. And that's exactly what I know. I feel it through even the airways. I'm here in Miami and you're in North Carolina, and I felt that. And I know you guys are feeling that as well. And and you quote one of my favorite scriptures, Mark 9:13, it's when you believe it will kick in. So no matter the label that was said or given to you, and you brought it up, and I always said this, because growing up, we used to say, sticks and stones won't break my bones, but words can never hurt me. And not until I became an adult, I realized that some of the words that was said as a child, as a young adult, it affected me and so many others as an adult. You have to look back at it. So I don't know. I know a lot of people are seeing it now like, yeah, words do hurt. Because when I think about, everyone would say, like, if you have 10 people say, you're beautiful, and that one person said, oh, you ain't all of that.
Come on.
You're going to be thinking about that. Well, what do I need to fix? What do I need to do? We always turn it back to ourselves. So what would you say to that person? Or how are you able to overcome in your clients? How do you help your clients with that?
Okay, well, first I start with affirmations. I do start with affirmations, but to tell the truth, if affirmations doesn't work, that means something is deeply rooted and grounded. And that's when we have to go to a deeper place. We have to do an assessment. Being that I'm a nurse, a registered nurse, and I also worked in behavior health. And I also worked not only in behavior health, but I've been, listen, okay, I'm going to say it. I've been a psych nurse, right? Okay. A behavior health psych nurse. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes, sometimes people, we have to go through therapy, and sometimes people have to take medication, right? Because they have been so beaten down and bruised by people that they actually believe these things, and they created this world. Right. And so it's different ways that we can help you. But first, I start with affirmations. And when you see that the affirmations are not helping you, that means we go deeper. And then we go deeper. I call it peeling the onion, because we get the flaky stuff off first. Can't nobody eat that flakiness. Right. That little flakiness. And how do you know it's a little flakiness? I know I'm about to talk to some of you. How do you know? Because when you get around people, you put on this facade like you can't be yourself, and you try to make them like you. It's called people pleasing. It's called people pleasing. When you're not comfortable in the skin that you're in, that you bring on this facade, and you can't even, and you make up names for yourself. You can't even be your name. I couldn't even be Laticia Nicole Beatty. I was Miss Tish the Diva, honey. I was
Yeah.
Right? And so, but you're fabulous, just like you are. You are fabulous with the name that God gave you. You're fabulous with the name that's on your birth certificate. Laticia Nicole is enough.
It's enough.
Laticia Nicole is enough. And so, if I'm talking to you, and you realize that you around people and you put on this facade because you want them to like you, that means we have to go deeper. We have to go deeper. What is it that happened to you that make you feel like that you're not liked and you're not loved and you're not accepted? That's called a spirit of rejection. That's called a spirit of rejection, and it comes with 7 more spirits. Yeah, I'm a minister of the gospel. Yeah, I'm an evangelist.
Well,
Yeah, I have
I need
prophetic.
to
It is what it is. But first we have to do an assessment. We have to do an assessment, then we plan, then we implement, and then we evaluate, and then we execute. And so all those things that you learn within the institute, those are things that you can build your businesses upon, build your books upon, build your businesses upon. Because I believe when you get unstuck from that place of doubt, then you can birth your business. I always say you cannot build a business on a broken foundation. And who's the foundation? It's you. It's you, boo. And people are waiting on you to get over you. You have generations that are assigned to you. And long as you stay stuck, it's people that stuck waiting on you to open your mouth. And when we're not sure who we are and whose we are and our purpose, I have so many people that come to me and say, Laticia Nicole, I don't know my purpose. And I have to remind them, well, it's not your purpose. God made us for his purpose and his purpose alone. But the purpose and the plan is to prosper us and to give us a hope and a future, right?
Right.
And so, what is that one thing that you do without even thinking about? That one thing gives you the power to get wealth. Come on, I need you to hear me. That's the one thing that gives you the power to get wealth. And if God give you the power to get wealth, it's not just for you, it's to go help somebody else. That's why I feed the elderly. That's why I clothe the elderly. It's not just for me. That's why I give water to those that are in need. That's why. If people that need box springs and beds. See, the money is not just for me. When God can trust you with it,
Come on.
he'll give it to you. But first we have to renew our mind. So we don't fall into the patterns of this world, and we can test and approve what is good, pleasing, and an acceptable will of God is for our life. Right? So I say all these things to say, when you find out really who and whose you are and your purpose, and you understand what was said to you and what is rooted, that unforgiveness. Oh, I'm talking to somebody right now. That unforgiveness that could be rooted and hindered you from birthing out that business. Or the reason why you can't have clients because they get on your nerve. No, they don't get on your nerve. It's something rooted and grounded why you don't like to talk to people.
It's the root. It's the root. Good. This is good. This is so good, and it's you touched on it a little bit now. You were talking about the root, and sometimes we are not getting to the root. There's so much surface and fluff that's going on, and social media has a part of that, dictated a part of that for the fluff. So a lot of people are not digging deep, not saying. So sometimes when I have clients come to me, and I thank God I have Christian therapists that I can say, this thing is bigger than me. This thing is bigger than what you or I can do. This thing is not bigger than prayer, but you need Jesus and therapist. Like you can work both of them. And sometimes you need to seek help. And what I've discovered is that some people are stuck, and they are stuck because of that very reason what you were talking about, not being able to get to the root of the problem. So you can have the affirmations, make the declarations, but then you're in a a rat race. You keep going around in circles. And so I love how important, as you are licensed, how important it is for someone to go through therapy if it needs to be that.
Oh, wow. It's very important. And I find it that females are more likely to go through therapy. Men are not. Um, yeah, men are not. And even children need therapy.
Mhm.
And I find it that and I tend to speak to women and girls. That's what God has given me, women and girls, to help them conquer their fears so they can be who God created them to be. I help them understand the power of mindset and achieving life goals and what may be blocking that. And that's a reason why it's definitely important for us to get counseling or some type of help, because you are blocking your blessings, right? You have to retrain your subconscious mind to unlock your full potential. These are things that has to be done. And one of the hindrance or blocking your blessings will stop you from living to your full potential if you don't get the proper help, right? And then you won't even be able to manifest the abundance that God has for you, for your life, not just for your life, but for your children and your children's children. This is an inheritance,
Yeah.
right? You're not only messing with your inheritance, but your children and your children's children
Right.
inheritance. So you can understand why. Let's okay, thank you, God. Let's break these generational patterns. I'm not going to even call it a curse. Let's break these generational patterns of why, grandma and them, whoever else dropped out of high school and who didn't start their business and got mad when somebody else started it. And let's stop these generational patterns. Who am I talking to? Let's gain awareness and look at these blind spots in our minds. Let's paint our own canvas,
Yeah.
man, in our mind, and go forth and live a life of abundance. Let's build on a spirituality ground that where when we speak those things as though they aren't, so they shall be. We can know that it is done because we believe. I just want to tell you guys that when you change your mindset and you change the way you speak about your current circumstances, I mean, it creates a powerful life for you. And these are things that I believe because I was able to do it myself. People say, how do you do all of these things? Because God said I could do all things through Christ that gives me strength. Why am I listening to people that say, "Oh, you doing too much"? You can't even sit in the balcony, honey. You got to get out the auditorium. You can't even be nowhere near my stage. If you're talking negative, I don't like negativity around me. I put you out because ain't nobody got time for that, because words have power. And so you have to have a circle around you that's speaking life into you, that believe in you. And so that's why it's so important. People should be speaking life into you and helping you. And if we can't help each other, why are we sitting here talking to one another?
This is why you guys need Speak Life Institute to get your life back. Like we are 7 days into the second quarter. And some people are still having conversations that they were having 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even a year ago, still stuck in, this is my new year. I saw someone posted on Instagram, today is my new year. And I'm like, well, that was 3 months ago. So they're starting over. So you guys, this is why Speak Life Institute and Laticia Nicole is important. And if you're looking for someone who is a person of integrity and great character, this is where you need to go if you are struggling with that. And the thing about it, what I love, besides all of your 7 books and everything that you're doing, you also cater to the elderly. Like, and some people, and I know, I think the Bible says about to care for the elderly and the children or something like that, right? And so for someone to to cater to the elderly, to give back to the elderly, that's someone with a big heart, a great heart, and I honor and salute you for that. So tell us a little bit how that came about, so that we can partner, because what I want this show to be about, and those who will be watching the replay, is that I want you guys to all follow my sister, because when she released the link or the flyer for her birthday. I want us to just donate and give. And this is the thing, even with the whole stock market and forex market, some people think that they need to have the big dollars. They need to have the 10 thousands of dollars to invest. And so even like this, they may not have a platform like you have, right? They may not have a platform like you have, but you can still invest on the level where you are. You can still invest in, because you can reach maybe more people than we can, right? So even at $10, $20, $100, that can take, that can help you so much in your business and in your nonprofit. So tell us, what made you start working with, the elderly?
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, when I was a little girl, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and I loved her so much. I loved grandma, and she taught me so much. And I remember um, being 15 years old, and I was on my way to the movies, and I was on a date. Yeah, I call myself, I was on a date. And I told the guy, I said, no, get off at the next exit, turn around and go back. Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. And that's what he did. And he pulled up back at my grandmother's house where he picked me up from. And all of the neighbors was outside standing, and the ambulance was in front of her home. And I was running. Actually, I jumped out the car before it stopped rolling. And they pulled my grandmother out. And at the time, they said that she was breathing, but she wasn't. And I adored that woman. I adored my grandmother. They used to say that I was her best friend. We would laugh so much. And from that day on, from me wanting to be a veterinarian, turned into I wanted to be a nurse, because I felt like no one, I didn't want nobody to ever leave me or pass away that I love. And my grandmother was just such a wonderful woman to her children, other children. I mean, you didn't even have to be a part of our family, and she would take care of you. She owned a cleaner. She was a philanthropist. She was not only a philanthropist, but she was a business owner. She owned the cleaners, Pitts Burning Cleaners. Yes, all of her children worked there in the cleaners. She was just an amazing woman of God, which transferred into my mom. My mother is a business owner. It was just amazing. So, being that I was around her all the time, I had a love for the elderly. And so I became a candy striper. I don't know if y'all remember what that is. Before you become a CNA or anything else, I was in high school. I was a candy striper, and I used to go to the nursing homes and look into their eyes and just sing to them and feed them and talk to them. And some of them would be demented. And so when I got old enough, I wanted to make a difference. And so I became a nursing home administrator, and I would give back, make sure they all had Christmas gifts. And then I noted in the community that it was towers, like towers of elderly people that was on subsidized income, right? Low housing. And so I actually was able to go into one of their apartments and see their stove, and it was so small that you couldn't even put a turkey in it. So I adopted a building of 300 elderly, and I every year I make sure they have what they need. I take nurses there, do blood pressures, and make sure we check, finger sticks for diabetes, give them toiletries, make sure they have diabetic socks, make sure they have food, fresh produce, and I do this with the help of those that donate. And I mean, because some they call me, because when I first came out, y'all, I'm gonna just tell you, when I first started, I was Miss Tish the Diva, and we was called professional divas, honey. And I changed that. God dropped that into my spirit to change that, because the only thing that's divine is God, and diva pretty much is a suffix of divination. And so we're purpose professionals. And so every year we still give back. We still donate, and sometimes they'll even inbox me in my Facebook and say, Miss Diva, I'm hungry. Can you bring me something? You got something? Can I hold something? So when you give, it goes to our elderly, and it's not just for our elderly here in Durham, North Carolina. One year we fed over 6,000 families from New York, from Michigan, from Georgia. When you get involved and you have communities that get involved, we're able to feed cities. We're able to, one time we gave Lansing, Michigan water. You know, when you help, we can get the money and get the food and get whatever they need to them. And so that's how that started. And I thank you for even allowing me to talk about that, because that's something that's near and dear to me,
Yeah.
because I love them.
Yeah. And how can we be a part of that? How can we give? I know we have your website on there. Is that where we go to be able to donate?
Okay, so I'm going to take this from over here and I'm going to put it into the comments if I can. Oh, it's not going to let me. Okay. It's in the private chat. You probably can take
Okay.
it. It's the donation. Mm-hmm.
Try to let's see if it will do this time, because I tried to give me an error. Let's see. Let's see if it will do. Okay. There you guys have it. So that's where you can donate.
Thank you.
You can donate. Thank you for that. Because that really blessed my heart to see that something else that you do, because you can, after you speak life into this giving back is a whole different feeling when you're able to give back to those who may not be able to give back to you, and you're not looking for it to get something back from them. And it gives me joy to be able to connect with those that are able to give back to others, who are less fortunate. So thank you for that. So is that a nonprofit?
Absolutely. And if anybody need any write-offs, I can give them a receipt as well. We are 501c
Okay.
nonprofit organization. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And I mean, I just love this conversation tonight, because in during the middle of the week, people start off the week strong, and then somewhere on the down the road, life happens. Life has happened to everyone, either death, loss of job, loss of a loved one. I mean, accidents, things that, caught us blindsided. And I want you to be able to take this moment right now to speak life into that audience member who will be struggling with whatever it is. I want you to speak life into them to encourage them tonight on our show.
Thank you, God. I want to tell you that you are not your present circumstance. That is not you. Divorce is not your name. Abuse is not your name. Broke is not your name. Broken is not your name. You can break free from that. Addiction is not your name. You can do all things through Christ Jesus that gives you strength. You rise up. Rise up. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to take a pen and I want you to write your name. This is something I want you to do. I want you to write your name. And my name is Laticia, Laticia. So I'm going to write my name and I'm going to show you how I wrote my name. This is how I wrote my name, Laticia, right? And the first initial of your name, if it begins with an L, if it begins, whatever it begins with, I want you to write something positive. So you can write the vision and make it plain. Come on, I want you to see it. I want you to hear it. So you can write the vision and make it plain. The vision is that, see, the L in my name means I am loved. So if you have an L in your name, that you are loved. I'm a leader, always teaching individual Christ, issuing answers, Laticia, a leader, always teaching individuals Christ, issuing answers. You do the same thing with your name. So anytime that somebody call you your name or call you out your name, you remind them who you are. Just say your name. My name means joy. Laticia means joy. That means everywhere I go, I should be bringing joy. Find out what your name means. Find out what your name means. So anytime that you feel the opposite of your name, anytime you feel that way, you can call yourself by name and find the courage to live out that name. You are the righteousness. You are awesome. You're wonderful. You're healed. You're delivered. You're set free. And I want you to know that you can do all things, not just some. You can do all things through Christ Jesus that gives you strength. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. Whatever you're going through, that's your book. That's what your business is going to be built on. Because now I don't like people to talk to me if they ain't been through something. You can't help me if you ain't been through yourself. So you're going to be able to help others that have gone through that very thing. What the enemy meant for bad for you, God is going to use for your good, and you can do all things. All things. Don't let a distraction be your main attraction. Go ahead and know that you got the power of death and life, and speak life. Speak your name. All right? My name is Laticia Nicole, and I speak life. Amen.
Listen, I told y'all this is going to be good. This is going to, K1 says, wow, I am powerful. Yes, wow. Oh my God, that was so good and so needed. Thank you so much for that, because I believe, and I love that. I'm going to work on my name. And my name also means joy as well. And when we were talking earlier about labels, I remember I hated my name because of what society said and what society labeled me as. And Tara Banks did a show, and I did it on my YouTube show as well, because this show is being streamed live on YouTube as well. And I did a show called "Don't Judge Me by My Name," because society said that all these negative things, about the name being ghetto and all of this stuff. And I had to fight for my name. And now LaQuisha Williams is all over because there was a time when I went to the courthouse to change my name because because of the stigma. And then I started to do the studies about it. And I was like, oh, my name means joy. Like, I'm happy anyways, so I am so glad to. And so when I meet other LaQuishas, we can be so excited because I'm like, LaQuishas are pageant ladies, doctors. And I'm like, okay, so we get to define what society says about us. And that's how I was able to speak life. So I'm so glad that I'm like some of the things that you said that you do, I use that too in helping me to become the world-class woman that I am. And you were talking about those books. You have 7 books. So sometimes that pain that one is going through is to push them into their purpose, right? You would say that?
Yes, absolutely.
I would love you to just share about any of your books you want to share, and we can stock you out too and purchase your books.
Absolutely. So my first book was a 100-day devotional. It was about speaking life. Your tongue has the power of death and life, and it helps you speak life into your health, your wealth, your finances, and your relationships. It helps you with scripture verses and inspiration, reflection, and goal, because that's important. Goal planning is important, and daily journaling. Okay. So this book is important. But oh my God, last year, during the time I had COVID,
Right.
I actually birthed a "I Am Beautiful: The Words of Powerful Girls."
Oh wow! Look at that.
That's me when I was a little girl, and I didn't think I was pretty. And so that's why I am beautiful. Words of Powerful Girls. I have a coloring book, and I have it as a book, and I would love to show you this. So everybody that I saw, I thought that they were pretty. I saw the beauty in them and didn't see the beauty in myself. And my mother, thank God for my mama, Thank God for my mama. There go my mama right there. She said, then you are beautiful too. I will always see little girls with golden fiery hair or a blonde hair or red hair, and I would see the beauty in them. So this book is going to teach little girls how to speak life into themselves. All right. Um, I mean, and even some women said that book helped me.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the book, look at this, you guys. Now it's your turn. What do you love about yourself? Say it out loud. For example, I am smart. I am talented. So we're teaching little girls to speak life. And
Wow. That is, and it starts from there. It starts from the little girl, right? And so that is so good. So they can also, where can we purchase your book?
at LaticiaNicole.com, all you have to do is hit shop. And actually, all of my products are there. My vitamins are there. The tea, I didn't lost about 15, 20 pounds with this tea. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I didn't with this tea. Which is an immunity tea, helps boost your immunity, but it also has properties that help you decrease your appetite and decrease bloating and lose weight. By Magnetic Lashes, Ellen Nails, Laticia Nicole Lashes.
No,
That
and that's
be a,
what I want. Oh, I need to get because I'm not good with the lashes, so I need to try that out. So
oh my God, these are wonderful. Let me tell you something. I've had these on for 3 days.
what?
Right, and then you can take them off and put them on. But
Yeah.
I had these on because they come with the magnetic Laticia Nicole liner.
Okay.
And I have 9 different sizes. You know, some people like them real long, some people like them barely there.
Yeah.
And so they're all on the site.
The site.
And
This is good. Now
Letitia
you are a boss, like Nordstrom's, like where because Laticia Nicole is here. I love all of this because there's so many layers. Like, wow, I love it. Keep going, keep going.
so I also did a 90-day abundant living planner. I don't know if y'all can see that because my little green screen is on.
Yeah.
But it's an abundant living planner and
Mhm.
it's 90 days. Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
This is really good because some people start off with a humongous planner and it's overwhelming. When you plan every 90 days, you
Exactly.
can complete it. And this, oh my God, this right here, it has your daily activities, goals. It's really good. It's a really, really great planner. What else do I have? She said, go on and tell them what you
Go
got.
on and say it all because I need to because I have to watch the replay too to see what I'm gonna be purchasing, you know? So
Woo! Okay, so healing from toxic habits.
mm,
And
yeah.
toxic habits being anger, shame, doubt,
Mm,
okay, fear. These are all toxic habits. So I know I have something within these 7 books
yeah.
uh, that will help you if you know somebody that's dealing with domestic violence. I also have a book called Unsilenced Faces of Domestic Violence. And in the back of that book is giving them a plan to get out alive.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Um, so it's a lot of books here. Our Stories, His Glory, part 1 and 2. And oh my God, LaQuisha, I am now taking authors, helping authors. If you have been dealing with some toxic habits
Wow.
stopping you, listen, right now, if you would like to become an author in this book,
Look at that.
listen, contact me, LaticiaNicole.com. Let me know. We're about to launch and go forth. It's not a huge investment. God showed me the number is 600.
Wow.
A
Wow.
lot of people are charging thousands of dollars for you
Right.
to be an author. It's only $600.
Wow. Look at
And
that.
and so you would be an author this year. So I am listen. God is doing exceedingly abundantly above all things that we could ever imagine. And we just got to step out of our comfort zone and do it. And when people telling you doing too much, tell them they're not doing enough.
They're not doing enough. Because these are all things, right? They're not doing enough. And you are the one-stop shop. I can see people coming on your site and say, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that. And Mother's Day is coming up. So this is your, get her some the tea that you have.
Immunity tea. Yeah,
Immunity tea.
absolutely. It's a 14-day detox. And I have pineapple, peppermint, pineapple, peach, lemon, and then the original flavor. All of them are delicious. You don't need any sugar with it. They are delicious. They come in, it's 14 individual bags.
Mhm.
They're delicious. Absolutely. I drink one every morning.
Wow, that's good. So there you have it. You have the tea, you have the journals or the planners, the books. Let me tell you, Mother's Day is coming up, and I've shifted how I give for Mother's Day as well, because I love to support, my sisters and brothers in what they're doing, because it just makes sense to do so, right? Instead of just going to a regular store, and everyone needs, I want that planner. I want that planner.
You want that planner?
And even the lashes, like, everything is here. Everything is here. I'll be shopping for Mother's Day. It's on your site as well. But I mean, this is a great, great conversation. One more time, just give them, I know where they can book you for speaking. Are you speaking in person or
I'm
virtually?
I'm doing both. And it's only because a lot of, well, you did say this,
Mhm.
that I am in the travel business, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think it's important that, because I believe I've been traveling during the whole pandemic. I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been everywhere, Cancun. So yeah, I'm going to travel. So one thing I want to give to people today,
Okay.
and it just hit me because I am a traveler. I want to give people a discount link that they can. They get their own link. Their own link,
Right.
um, a discount link where they can travel when they want to,
Oh,
and
wow.
get up to 85 to 90% off of travel.
Look
Um,
at
and
that.
so
Look at
I'm
God.
gonna give you guys that, and when you fill the little information out, you'll get your own link. It's nothing. I'm not gonna be trying to sell you nothing. This is your link where you can get discount travel. It's you're gonna see Aiden Beatty. That's my baby boy.
Okay.
That's his name, Aiden Beatty. I made sure that both of my children understand entrepreneurship. So even down to the baby, is in the business as well. So go ahead and get your discount travel. And if you ever want, anything else, you can reach out to me if you ever have, something you want to go to Barbados or anywhere else. But in June, is it June or July? I'm looking to take people to what is it? Clearwater, Florida.
Oh, yes. Come on down. Yes.
Yes, I'm coming down. Clearwater, Florida.
Yes, I would love to come. I would love that. I love to travel as well. This is so good. I mean, because you didn't have to. You already poured out so much. You still turned around. That's just the heart you have. You can't help yourself to give and said, you know what? I just want to give you guys a discount link. Like, and I appreciate you for doing that. I pray God's blessing. Just continue to overtake you in doing all. Continue doing more, because I believe as long as there is a pulse, there is stuff for us to do. And so, thank you so much for being on the World Class Conversations show. I hope to have you again. But anything that you have coming up, just let us know, and we would love to just honor you and what you're doing. So thank you so, so much for being here tonight. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here and my very special guest. As always, meet me back here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another show that it will inspire you and help you to become your best self. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.